Before we begin exploring, there are a couple of things that I want to show in the dorm. Firstly, the TV is showing the exact same broadcast we had in that earlier cutscene, which is kind of a nice touch. Shows that things really are endlessly repeating. You can examine the bathrooms here, but we don't have much to say about it. The vending machines still appear to work, so at least we don't have to worry about dying of thirst. And you can also examine everyone's rooms here. There's not much of a comment from most of them, except... that's not exactly normal. That's really not normal. But there's nothing we can do with it. We can go into the command room, but the power is off on the console, so we can't view any recordings. Before we check everyone else's stats, let's go ahead and check our own. So we have Icarus here at level 25. We have Orpheus of the Full Arcana. And Orpheus has actually changed a bit since the journey. He's actually a lot better in the answer. However, it is very, very difficult to grind personas here, for reasons that I will be explaining eventually. In fact, related to those reasons, here is the Velvet Room door. In fact, it would have been so much more convenient if there was a door here during the main storyline. We have no reason to go in there at this point because we only have one persona, so I'm going to leave talking about that until later. If we speak to Fuka... okay, yeah, apparently we can't use our gear mode anymore. There is something to make up for that, though. And we can check everyone's status from Fuka like always. So, we've been hit with that annoying RPG trope bag of spilling. Everyone is down to level 25, which is unfortunate. We also all have fixed equipment, but everyone is back to their starting useless accessories. Yukari does have quite a lot of skills to start off with though, both Garu and Magaru, and also Medea, so that's pretty useful. Akihiko, he also has healing, and he also has one debuff as well. He's also got a couple of debuffs, so Akihiko is still pretty much as versatile as he usually is. It's also weird to see the ultimate personas at this low of a level. Ken, that's a very ominously named Lance. I thought you were done with that kind of thing. Annoyingly, Ken does not start out with healing, so that makes him a lot less useful right off the bat. Hi there, you're new. I'll talk about you later. And we have Fuka, who, yeah, has lost most of her support abilities, unfortunately. Or fortunately, because that means no Oracle. So you might have noticed that, yes, Metis is in fact a fully fledged party member. Let's first ask her about the Abyss of Time. So, just like Tartarus, except down rather than up. Also, I love the name Desert of Doors. Okay, if we go back into talk, we can ask about her powers. So, Metis uses bludgeoning or strike weapons, the same kind that Shinjiro used. So she has wind-based skills. Let's check out her status. So this is her starting equipment. Any armor that we find that has torso in its name is armor for her, so remember that. And her persona Psyche. And we have a new party member, so you know what that means. Yes, I'm still doing bios for this. Metis has no elemental weaknesses, but no resistances either. She uses strike weapons in combat, and her stats mostly focus on the physical side. She also mainly learns physical attacking skills. Metis is essentially a replacement for Shinjiro. In fact, she's even Hierophant Arcana just like he was. Metis does have a few extra tricks up her sleeve though. In addition to physical skills, she also learns some wind elemental and later ice elemental magical attacks. She learns a few supportive and status moves too, so she's actually pretty versatile. She also learns Power Charge at level 40, much earlier than Shinjiro did. Unfortunately, you might notice a certain skill in her early learn set that kinda sets her usefulness back a bit the moment she gets it. Marin freaking Karen. Yeah, remember this from the journey? For those who don't know, Marin Karen is a charm status spell that has a very low chance of actually working. Like around 25%. The AI though loves to spam this skill on any character that has it. So the moment Metis learns this, which is pretty early after you get her, she's going to be wasting a lot of her turns in combat. As long as Metis is actually attacking though, she is very powerful, especially due to a certain special ability she has that I won't cover here because the game itself will already explain it to us when we first enter a battle with her. Metis' persona is Psyche, a word that in Greek means both soul and butterfly, which fits not only with Metis' own motif, but with many of the themes of the Persona series itself. Psyche is also a figure from Greek mythology though. The short version is that she was the youngest daughter of the King and Queen of Sicily, and was considered the most beautiful person on that island. One day, she boasted that she was more beautiful than Aphrodite, the goddess of love herself. She didn't take well to this. So Aphrodite sent Cupid, or Eros, depending on which translation you're going with, to shoot her with an arrow and make her fall in love with the first thing she saw. However, Cupid actually took pity on her and ended up falling in love with her himself. Aphrodite forced Psyche through some pretty brutal trials, one of which involved a journey to the underworld, just like Orpheus. And eventually Cupid and Psyche were married, and Psyche was made a goddess by Zeus. This myth originates in one of the stories from a work by 2nd century AD philosopher and writer Apuleius. Many scholars, including some psychologists, interpret the story of Cupid and Psyche as being an allegory. The idea of the soul being freed by love. However, doing research on Apuleius, it seems like he was kind of a satirist. And the book Metamorphosis is described as a bawdy, picaresque novel. So, it's debatable how seriously we're meant to take this story. It's pretty likely that the Stockholm Syndrome aspects of Apollo and Psyche's relationship are intentionally being played for satire here. But Psyche's appearance in this game definitely takes cues from the myth, wearing a wedding dress and having a butterfly mask motif. Metis herself also has a name that derives from Greek mythology. Metis was one of the Titans, and apparently first spouse of Zeus, and also his cousin. The name Metis is normally associated with wisdom, but in the original Greek the word means both wisdom and cunning. Qualities that together were admired quite a lot by the Greeks, Odysseus in the Odyssey being an example of a hero who exhibits this trait. For voice acting trivia, Metis is voiced by Stephanie Sheh. Anyone familiar with video game voice actors should probably know of her. She's played many roles in Fire Emblem recently, Tharya and Shell in Awakening, and Baruka and Sophie in Fates. She's also very well known for her role as Hinata in pretty much every Naruto adaptation game, along with being Eri in Bravely Default. She also voices Estelle Bright in the Trails in the Sky series. Unfortunately, those games don't have voice acting outside of battle, so she really doesn't get to do much. It's a shame because Estelle has some amazing lines that I'd love to hear fully voice acted. So, that is Metis and Psyche, and since she is totally new, of course I'm going to add her to our party. Unfortunately, we can't add Junpei or Koromaru. So, yeah, no joining our party for him. Also, if you talk to Koromaru, finally he has his dog suit back, you get something interesting. I just can't understand animals the way she used to. We can get a general sense of his feelings, but we can't exactly understand what he's saying. Kinda going some way to justify that, but seriously, 2 months and you've lost, like, I mean, how many levels? You're expected to be around 70 by the end of the main story, so that is a lot of levels you've lost in 2 months. I'm gonna add Akihiko. You have to leave out one party member, and since Ken doesn't have healing, he's gonna be the one that's left out. I'm so sorry. I would normally defend Ken as a party member, but, yeah, I feel like it's better to use some other people at this point. Well, you seem a little closer to your usual self now. And this is important to know. So we definitely want to use Yukari here. Especially since this is hard mode, and obviously healers are very, very useful on hard mode. That's kind of a good way to put it. Whether this is an effect of us defeating Nyx, or whether it's just us being out of practice, or whether it's the Abyss of Time, who knows, but really it's just an excuse to make things harder again. I just realized that I forgot to talk to Mitsuru here. That is true. And no Mitsuru for this point. So now we have our party in order, let's head down to the Abyss of Time. You sure you want to follow him? He's probably gonna try and seduce you again.
Huh? What was that?
Welcome to the Desert of Doors, our hub area for the answer. It's hard to explain, but I really love this area, just the general concept. The music is cool, and something interesting is, this place actually stretches out pretty far, even though it's pretty pointless that it does. So we can go all the way out here. And we can see all this sand just being carried out into the distance. I don't know, it's just such a cool aesthetic to me. So, we have a bunch of doors here, and only one of them is glowing, so obviously that's going to be our destination, but let's check the names here. We can get a bit of a preview. Cocytus, that's a name that I recognize. And Empyrean. And this is the one that we need to go into. So, all of these doors, apart from Empyrean, are named after circles of hell from Dante's Divine Comedy. Malebolge, I think is how you would pronounce this. It literally means evil ditch. And this is the 8th circle of hell, according to Dante, where those who committed fraud are punished. It's also the name of a programming language that's designed to be as obscure and as difficult to use and as mind-blowingly painful as possible. To give you an idea, this is how you write a Hello World program in Malebolge. To give you another idea, there is a programming language that is literally called Brain F. Malebolge was designed to be even worse than that. Yeah. So enough about programming languages, and let's start exploring this area. Let's enter. Welcome to Malebolge. It's kind of a palette swap of Thebel, but it's also kind of designed after the dorm, and it does have new music. So, of course, there are shadows here. This place is, like I said, pretty much Tartarus 2.0. If you didn't enjoy Tartarus exploration in the main game and preferred social links, you're probably not going to like the answer very much. The answer is entirely dungeon crawling and no social links whatsoever, but I personally quite enjoy this. So, we have a protagonist who uses a ranged weapon by default, so you'll need to get use of that if you want to get preemptive strikes. The cool thing about Igus's gun is you can actually get a visual indicator of where the shot is landing, which makes it a little easier to aim than bows, at least from what I found. Remember, you still have to hit shadows from behind in order to get preemptive strikes. So, let's wait for this guy to turn around and see if we can get one. If you get the timing down, it's actually pretty convenient having a ranged weapon. Before I can talk about this remix of Baby Baby Baby, which is actually not really all that different, Metis is going to explain to us a new gameplay mechanic.
Just like you, sister, I'm able to go into Orgia mode. My limiter will be temporarily disabled.
It's pretty much the same as Igus's Orgia mode, with one main exception.
As a result, my offensive capabilities will increase dramatically. However, I won't be able to listen to your orders.
And considering that party members are AI controlled in this game anyway, that's not much of a downside.
Also, Orgia mode only lasts for a short time. I'll eventually overheat and become immobile.
That is, though.
It takes time for my systems to cool down again. So it's important to use it only at the right moment. That's all. Do you want me to explain it again?
And just like your sister, you suffer from Corpora Gabora-itis. No thanks, I'm good.
The command to activate Orgia mode can be accessed via tactics. Let me know when you want to use it.
At the moment, that's pretty much always, because Menace's Orgia mode has one particular advantage over Aigis' old Orgia mode, which for some reason she didn't feel the need to explain to us. When she's in Orgia mode, she does not have to spend SP or HP to use skills. So, both physical and magical attacks, all of them are free for her. And yeah, she's out for a few turns if it ends. Early on in the game, though, I feel that battles just don't last long enough to make that an issue, so I like to keep her in Orgia mode almost all the time, so let's do that now.
Understood.
We have 3 new enemies here. I want to get to scan in on this one first, because it's the most dangerous by far, and probably the most dangerous enemy that we have in this area in general, at least for now. I do know that it's weak to fire, though, which thankfully Orpheus has. Well, that's not good.
Fly! Happy and heart! Persona!
This is probably going to hurt a lot. And as you can see, no HP cost for that. That is not a weakness, I'm pretty sure, because the Maya is weak to ice.
It has multiple weaknesses.
Hey! Welcome back, Fuka! Welcome back, Fuka's catchphrase. So, this thing is weak to fire, it's also weak to light and dark, but they kind of suck in this game outside of Samsara and Die For Me. Kill Rush hurts a lot, though. Multiple hits... Now I'm thinking of the PBR announcer. It keeps dealing damage! Yeah, it tends to take off half your health at this point, so you want to be healed at all times, because if you get ambushed by these things and they kill rush you, you can very easily just get game over right there. Remember, this is effectively hard mode. I love how ironic that is if Aigis misses there. And unfortunately, you just, woke up the lion, which is bad.
Metis defeated an enemy.
Yeah, you can really tell that Fuka's lines were newly recorded for Metis, because she sounds so much less enthusiastic than she does for everyone else. It's actually kind of hilarious.
Orpheus!
And another thing to explain, they actually did give Karen Strassman new dialogue for calling out the names, and welcome back Akihiko's catchphrase, for calling out the names of every single persona that she can use, and even some she can't use, because she's got persona calls for all the party members' personas as well.
All enemies defeated.
Because they had to make sure the game wouldn't crash if you hacked a persona that she wouldn't be able to use onto her. So, this early, you want to focus on grabbing personas with shuffle time, because that's the only way we can get them. So, we now have Hypixie. Hypixie is an ice user, which means we can actually hit the weaknesses of those Mayas now. Like always, you want to build up a good complement of elemental affinities on your personas. And you want to make sure to draw as many persona cards as possible here, so you can fuse them later. As I said, there's no reason for us to go into the Velvet Room now, but there will be in a little bit.
I've been waiting for this.
Okay, now this early on, all-out attacks don't always kill anything, so I'm kind of worried about... Yeah, that didn't kill everything.
Persona!
And I forgot to Orgia mode you.
One enemy to go.
I think it's here? Yes, it is! We got the persona Waffle! Why am I calling her that? Well, you'll see the next time that Aigis calls out her name. As always, these areas are randomly generated, and the stairs lead down this time. Kind of rare to see that in this game. Just like Tartarus, there are also bosses here periodically. The first boss is on floor 8, so we need to go a little while before we can get there. There's also a pretty big lack of checkpoints in the answer, and that's something that can be a little problematic. So whenever you can, you actually might want to leave Tartarus. Yeah, I'm still calling it Tartarus. Force of habit. You want to leave the Abyss of Time and go back and save, because, like I said, checkpoints are kind of rare. Now, I want to go... Actually, I want to go ahead and scan this first.
Give me a sec.
The spurious books tend to die pretty quickly. So, I think for now I'm just going to use a standard pierce attack. Once again, you made that line ironic. The main reason why I like to keep Menace in on gear mode is because otherwise she runs through her HP pretty quickly with physical skills. So, this thing uses ice attacks, its only weakness is light, which is very annoying, and its only physical element that it doesn't resist is strike. These things, I actually don't like fighting them very much. Well, that's good to know.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
I doubt any of you have any strike attacks, but let's see. Yeah, Holy Arrow is Pierce. Let's not do that. Yeah, there's nothing much I can do except... I guess I'll attack this. Well, you made good on your promise that time. Actually, I think the books are weak to Zeo. Yes, they are. Oh, no. Of course! Of course! I couldn't analyze it. But yes, we now know they're weak to Zeo. Let me just quickly check my notes to substitute for Fuka's analysis. Unfortunately, Akiko's weak to that. You do want to watch out because elemental weaknesses hit a lot harder on hard mode than they do on normal.
I've regained my honor.
Okay, so Spurious Book, weak to Elect, Null Wind, drains fire, and has fire attacks. Okay, so having personas that resist fire is good here.
Alright, sister. Let's get him.
And hey, that's a new line.
Keep your filthy hands off my sister.
Get used to that line, because Menace does not have a lot of variety in her post-battle quotes. Yes, it's here. Rakshasa! Jazz hands. Critical Role joke. Actually, I have not got Rakshasa here before, so let me just quickly check it. Some personas have changed since the level 16. Ugh. Yeah, probably gonna use you as fusion fodder and weak to an instant death element. That's not good for a protagonist. At least you're strong against Slash, but yeah, you're probably gonna be fusion fodder. Ah, Gold Shadow. Without range attacks, they're not actually that hard to hit. Now, for these, I just like to put the party on Rush. Wealth Hands are weak to a random physical element, and that changes every turn. But I guess I got lucky there. Yeah, Fuka for some reason sounds really enthusiastic about a lot of her new lines. Less so than usual. For now, Wealth Hands just drop wealth coins, which are only useful for selling. Money at this point is not really that much of a... Wow, really? 2 of them? Well, yeah, that's a lost cause. Hello there, please don't turn around. Gotcha! At the moment, there's not much use for money, and that's partly why you want to complete this area as soon as possible. There are only 15 floors in Malebolge, and at the end of it, there's something very important to unlock quickly. For now, Huapo also has fire, and Null's fire, but... yeah, you're lower level than Orpheus. Kind of weird that I'm actually wanting to keep Orpheus equipped, because Orpheus was pretty bad in the journey. He's actually a pretty decent starting persona in the answer, and I need to heal Menace. I should do that the next... In fact, I'll do that now. What? Aegis' SP actually being useful for something? Yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting thing about the answer, is that you actually have a reason to worry about Aegis' SP here. In the journey, the only things that she had that used SP were her buff skills, and she almost never ran out, but here Aegis can heal, she can use magic. She's a real wildcard user. So, Justice Swords. Immune to Slash, although for some reason you also have the Dodge Slash skill, but then again, there are a lot of personas you can fuse that have redundant skill combinations like that, so I'm not one to complain. And weak to Wind, which is great because we have 2 party members who use that. In fact, perfect time to get the scan in. Unfortunately, that wild beast just woke up. And you're going to wake up the Justice Sword again, aren't you? Yes, you are. If you put your party members on knockdown, they usually won't attack enemies that are down, which is a very, very good thing. So bear that in mind.
Good choice. The enemy is down.
Now's our chance.
And I don't think any of you have wind, so... I suppose I can just finish you.
Miss! Enemy defeated!
That's the last one.
Well, here's Menace, hopefully hitting a weakness for the first time.
Keep your filthy hands off my sister!
Ah, no shuffle time, unfortunately. More money that we don't need at this point. I mean, the only thing that money is useful for here is buying drinks at the dorm, which I guess they can restore a little bit of HP in a pinch. Ah, great, you're coming this way. You really want to avoid preemptive strikes in this area. That's partly why I'm playing this very cautiously. This is hard mode after all, and if those wild beasts get a preemptive on you, you can very easily die. Speaking of,
Two strong enemies.
actually this is a good place to test out Hua Po, or as I guess we'll hopefully call her here.
I need your help!
Ah, she didn't say it.
Persona!
And I forgot to Ogia mode you again. I need to stop doing that.
It's a tough one.
Fortunately, that's not a one more because that wasn't a knockdown.
That's the last one.
I would have healed Metis if I were you. Yeah, unfortunately, you have to deal with the party members being AI controlled again. Persona 4 and 5 improved that so much. This is probably a bad idea because multi-targeting skills have less accuracy than single targeting, but I wanted to hear her say waffle. Trust me, I'll show it eventually and it's great. Seriously, that didn't kill you? That really didn't kill you. These things have a lot of defense, and okay, you didn't go for kill rush at least.
I may need to retreat.
I love how unenthusiastic Fuka is with that line. It's like, oh no, Metis is about to die. I totally don't hold a grudge against her for almost trying to kill me. You will hold your ground.
For you. It's a tough one.
Don't overdo it.
Kinda thought Yukari would be the first one to try and heal.
Only one enemy.
Can I get it here?
Persona!
No!
I won't miss.
You made good in your promise.
I made up my mind. I won't.
2 curse cards, huh? Well, I'm only looking for the Persona. That's the only one that didn't get shuffled together with others there. So, Take Minakata. Ugh. In the journey, I didn't like Take Minakata because he was weak to 2 instant death elements, which is really, really bad on a protagonist Persona. And, surprise, surprise, it's the same in the answer. At least he's resistant to strike. Let's go ahead and patch up some people. Like I said, I guess his SP is actually useful for something now. Who would have thought it? Dead end. I think I'm going to just go a few floors in, and then I'm going to go back to the dorm and save. That's kind of the way you want to play this, because I may have said this before, but there isn't much in the way of checkpoints in the answer. So, you can't really just rely on brute forcing your way to a checkpoint and then going back and saving, because checkpoints work a little differently here, I'll just say. Come on, turn around, please. Gotcha. There it is! There it is!
The enemies are found.
I mean, seriously, she is just saying waffle there.
I've been waiting for this.
Yes, I've been waiting for it too. I've been waiting a long time for I guess to say waffle, and that is a weird sentence.
That was easy.
Yeah, again, it's very easy to tell Fuka's newly recorded lines from the answer, apart from her original lines from the journey, and I have no idea where everything was, but I chose the one that I wanted anyway. I think I'm going to try and get everyone at least 1 level up before I leave this area and go back. Oh yeah, something else to note. Fuka has lost escape route, so you have to find an escape point in order to leave this place. Come on, please turn around. There you go.
your enemies. You've surprised them.
Okay, everything here I haven't scanned before. Let's go for the Insidious Maya.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Because I actually know those things are weak to ice, and I know the books are weak to Zeo. In fact, I actually have High Pixie, so... I don't think the books use... Actually, maybe the books do use Garu, so maybe equipping High Pixie is a bad idea. I'm gonna play it safe for now. It's just so weird having Orpheus be my go-to good persona, because that's usually not what happens. I wanted to get rid of him as quickly as possible during the... And I forgot to put you in Orgia mode again!
Metis defeated an enemy.
Don't mess with me.
Again, Fuka sounds so unenthused.
Still alive.
So yeah, the books are weak to that. The Insidious Mayas are weak to ice. They're more of an annoyance than a threat. Alone, they're pretty much nothing. They can't do much damage to you, but they love to inflict you with panic, which prevents you from using your persona, and makes you slightly more susceptible to criticals. Speaking of more susceptible to criticals, though, shocked enemies will automatically get critical by physical attacks, so there's that. Make sure to capitalize on that. Like this. But that's not a one more, sadly, because the enemy was already knocked down. It's so weird seeing Caesar use Sonic Punch. Sonic Sword to face, more like. Oh yeah, they can also heal themselves. But, let's just rush you to death.
Keep your filthy hands off my sister.
And there's a level up. There aren't many personas we can make that are level 26, though. Really, the best ones at this point come at level 28-ish, so we need to grind a little bit more. There is an exit point. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that. Firstly, though, Yukari, you haven't really used your Garo skills very much, so let's request healing. This burns up Yukari's SP very quickly, so you do want to be careful about how often you do that, but considering that we have a lot of characters here with healing, it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah. If your party members are low on health, heal them! More Captain Obvious advice from Fuka. More hammering in of the fact that Igus is officially the protagonist now. I guess we'll check out this branch first. Hello there. I think I've seen most of the enemies that can show up at this point. There aren't really all that much.
My skills have increased.
My skills have improved.
Level ups all round, it looks like.
Yes!
You do want to fight every enemy that you encounter and get as much experience as you can, because you will need it, trust me. You will really, really need it. Impusa, that's new. Gotcha. I've actually forgotten what Impusa was like in the answer, so let's check. Kinda decent. Magaru is alright. Growth 1 is not bad to pass down to future personas if we can actually get it. Especially in the answer, considering that, Oh, well, got you while you were trying to run. What I was saying is, considering that, it's quite hard to grind in the answer, and, lack of social links means that it's harder to level up personas, but anyway. Medicinal powder. We need all the healing items we can get at this point, because we can't buy any yet. I said yet. Ares, that's also pretty good. Seem to remember you being much stronger in Persona 5. Level 19 here, though. But strong against fire and slash is pretty decent. We do have a warp point right here. I was only planning on going as far as the 4th floor before going back, but let me just check how much experience Igus needs to level up. It's still a little bit to go. Sort of want to get everyone to level 27 before leaving. Don't come this way. Turn around, please. Turn around. You know you want to. That's not exactly turning around. Well, that wasn't a preemptive, but at least it wasn't a preemptive for them.
No shadows detected.
Okay, I don't actually have Titan, but do I want the experience more? I think that's 2. Yeah, I'll take Titan.
Hey, my persona has a new ability. I can tell you if the enemy's performance has been altered.
So Fuga just got support scan back.
This will help you when you're in battle.
Basically, it shows if enemies have any buffs or debuffs currently active, which can be useful sometimes, I'll admit. Maypatra gem. Good for curing certain status. I think I'm just going to ignore you for now. This could be bad. I have a few enemies chasing me. No. Was that a preemptive? No, it wasn't. Sometimes it can be hard to judge range, but there we go.
There are 4 enemies. Attack!
Well, we still haven't scanned these yet.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Although, at the moment, I kind of just want to be safe here, and firstly, just so I don't forget again.
Understood.
But I just kind of want to keep Igus's HP as high as possible, and I chose the wrong skill there. Yeah, let's go for Deer. Igus is starting to run low on SP anyway, so I should probably get out of here pretty soon. This is the main reason why I like to keep her on our gear mode all the time, is because Fatal End is pretty expensive in terms of HP otherwise.
Weakness is electricity.
So finally scan this. It uses fire, it has fire boost, so don't equip anything weak to fire, and it's weak to elect, and it nulls wind. Thankfully you're only using the single targeting version. And shock! Why didn't you just attack it again physically? I don't get that. Actually, they did set up for a 1 more on her, so maybe that was a good thing. And that is perfect setup for Hypixie. Provided that Hypixie doesn't miss anyone. There we go.
Now's your chance.
All right, sister. Let's get him.
Incredible. That was a...
Fortuna. Guess I'll take that. And that's a good amount of money. Igus can hold a pretty impressive amount of personas for just starting out as a wildcard user.
Four enemies. You've surprised them.
Oh no, not this setup. Oh, this is not good. This is really not good because Huapo's endurance is terrible. Okay, so Metis goes second. Right, I'm gonna go to tactics.
Leave it to me.
I mean, I said I wanted to knock down only because that means they're not going to attack enemies that are already knocked down. But Metis is going to go into
Understood.
Act Freely or Gear Mode. And I'm just going to try and... Oh, this could actually be really bad. I really don't like this enemy setup. Let's go, Waffle! I had a feeling at least one of them would dodge. But hopefully you attack the one that's still up. Let's see if you do. No, you did not! That is extremely bad. Although killing one of them is probably a good thing. Okay, good, you are attacking the one that's still up. Actually, no, you didn't!
There are 4 enemies left.
Okay, one of them is next to go, so if I go for another Miragi, then, okay. Only having to deal with one potential kill rush is not the worst thing in the world. Because I don't want to get hit by multiple kill rushes, and of course you'd miss the one that was going to die instantly. And you're going to attack, and you're going to kill rush! Of course you are.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that is why I don't like these things. This is why I don't like these things at all. Please kill them.
I couldn't finish it off.
Okay, just a regular strike attack. Thank you! And thank you for not kill rushing Aegis.
I won't lose.
And thank you for attacking the one that wasn't down.
Careful. The enemy's going to attack.
Still 3 of them up, though. And one of them is going next. I desperately need to... Kill Rush is Strike, right? I'm pretty sure Kill Rush is Strike, so if I go to either Take Minakata, I'm sure... No, you are the only one I have who resists Strike. Okay, then. Probably not a bad idea to do this.
Are you okay? Please be more careful.
And on Tactics, I'm going to put Yukari on heal.
Leave it to me.
Firstly, let's go to Items and... Okay, moderately is more than slightly, so gonna use this on you.
Take this.
Even though it's only 100 HP restoration. And that is why I equipped a persona that's resistant to strike. Yeah, that probably saved my life there.
I couldn't finish it.
I really hate these enemies, and you're gonna overheat soon, aren't you?
Metis defeated
Another one
an
dead,
enemy.
that's great.
Hang in there.
Thank you, Yukari! Thank you so much, Yukari. That's gonna make things a lot easier.
Nice try.
Double dodging that, nice. And I'm still on Take Minakata. I need to go back to Waffle, which is what I'm going to be calling that persona for the rest of this game.
Keep it up.
I am not going to all-out attack, because I don't think they'll die, and that'll make them all get back up again. Yeah, I want to keep that one that's going next still down. So, I can't switch personas back again. I think I'll just wait. The only reason that I'm still bothering with this fight is because I'm sure everybody is going to level up after it, because I guess we'll level up after one battle, everyone else needs around 600, so... I don't know how much these things give, but this is most likely going to result in a level up for at least some people, and another one's dead, thank you.
That's the last one.
This thing won't give up.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, that only hit once, thankfully. Okay, going 5th. Problem is if Miragi misses, I am probably, yes, I am definitely in death range of another kill rush, so... Do I go for Orpheus again, or do I just go straight for... I'm just gonna go straight for Take Minakata and just go for the resistance.
Just one enemy left. It has multiple...
Yeah, you're resistant to everything except Slash, so might as well just go for Zio.
I need your help.
Yes, I do! Hello, Mr. No Arms, please save me. Actually, I remember that it was a mini-boss in Persona 5 and it was weak to Psychic. And Overheat, I thought so. Ouch, hotness, it is the Overheat, indeed. Okay, better you than Igus. And now I'm going... Yeah, I'm gonna... No, actually, I'm not gonna use Orpheus now. Because I just want this thing to be dead as fast as possible, so I'm just gonna Zeo it again. Please get Shock and then have Akihiko critical it, because that would be so satisfying. Well, it's still pretty much in death range. Goodbye. Okay, yeah. I was sweating like crazy for that fight. And that's definitely enough to level up Igus. Please tell me that was enough to level up everyone else as well. If it's not, it should be very... Okay, that is extremely close. Like, it has to be extremely close. Let me just check Akihiko. 6! I thought so. Yukari, heal everyone now, please. Because I'm going to have to brave another fight, because I really want everyone else to be level 27 by the time we leave. How close are you? 6! And I'm not even going to check metas, because I'm guessing that you're also 6. Wow, I still haven't found the stairs? Oh yeah, I should mention that the Reaper is still a thing in the answer. So, you gotta be careful when you're exploring. Gotcha. Good. Okay. You should hopefully be enough to level us all up. Oh.
3 enemies. You've surprised them.
I hate wild beasts so much.
I must protect.
And there's the level up on everyone else. So, with that, I'm going to leave here and go back and save because I don't want to lose all that progress. Definitely not. Okay, good. It's right on the map there. We just need to sneak by one shadow. And we're out. With that, I think I'll be ending this part here, and I'll start the next part by doing a bit of fusion in the Velvet Room. So, I'll see you for that. Turn around, there we go. Uh-oh. Oh, almost got you. What do we got here? Oh, okay. This is like the worst possible group to get a preemptive attack from, especially if they start spamming Kill Rush. This is actually really terrible.
Someone help Metis.
Oh, no. Also, yeah, Fuka sounds really unenthused when it comes to talking about Metis.